YouTube! Wow! This little cute pink lady is here. It's time to learn about Fu Xuan. Well, right now she's kind of cosplaying Dan Heng because I put her like beside the horn thing. But yeah, so this character is insane, I think, in my opinion. We'll go over her talents and kit. She's pretty, I would say pretty straightforward. Hopefully the video is not gonna be too long in explaining what she does. And we'll go over best Lycons, what relics are nice for her, stat distribution, which I think is really important because the way that her traces work with giving her so much energy on her skill when it's active is very important because it scales into the energy regeneration rate, which means that her E can literally restore like 65 to 70 energy, which we'll get to, okay? And then we'll talk about team comps and general gameplay stuff. Okay, sounds good. Wow, insane. Aptitude showcase. All right. Fu Xuan is if Dia actually worked. And it's unfortunate because I love Dia, but listen, all right? There's a lot of correlation between how her kit works and what Dia could have done, but yeah. So, Fu Xuan has 3 different things that she does. First is damage reduction. The damage reduction is a very important part. It's when she has her skill up. Second is she buffs. So she buffs both HP percent and crit rate. And if you have E1, it's also crit damage. And then third, she restores her own HP and allies' HP with her talent and her ultimate. First thing, her autos. They're satisfying as hell. I like them a lot. And as always, with the auto, it'll show you max range. Okay, so this is max range for her auto. It'll reach all the way over there, even though right now you see it only goes a little bit ahead, right? And then her E, activate her E. Boom. This basically blocks attacks. Let's go up. Let's just walk up here. All right. Wow, insane. But now it's gone. Okay, and then, wow, insane. So it was gone because I ran out of the 20-second timer, so it does have a time limit. But yeah, you don't get attacked or anything. That's nice. All right, let's attack her. Okay, basic attack is the usual thing. Your skill, damage reduction, has increased crit rate and max HP. E1 gives crit damage here. Ultimate deals quantum damage to all allies and increases Fu Xuan's talent trigger count. The talent is responsible for restoring her own HP, not your allies, okay? So the talent is responsible for restoring her HP. When she's under 50% HP, she'll restore almost all of the HP that she lost. I say almost all because the percentage varies, but it caps out at about 95%. This can happen up to 2 times, and you get 1 by default when you enter battle. And the technique is what you just saw. It activates a barrier. Allies do not enter battle when they're attacked. And when you enter battle with it on, you will automatically activate her skill for 2 turns. Okay. First thing to note, in her tooltip, you'll see the little icon that's twirling around. Just tells you when she's below 50% HP, she will restore her HP. First thing, I don't need to do this, but I want to show you something super broken, okay? So this is her field. Notice that her energy is 67 out of 135. Okay, her matrix of prescience is already active. If you use her skill again with her A2 trace unlocked, she'll restore 20 more energy for her skill. Why is that broken? Because it applies to energy regeneration rate. So that means skill has a base of 30 energy. A2 trace gives 20 more. That's 50. Multiply that by energy regeneration rate, you're gonna see 66 energy from one ability here, which basically means you will almost have her burst. You'll notice this right now. I'm gonna use E here. The icon's almost full. Now we're gonna get attacked, which means I do get a little energy, and you'll notice that her burst is back. Like it's literally ready. All right, so my allies got attacked. Time to ult. Best ultimate animation, by the way. Restores her allies' HP, very nice. Her ultimate heals all other allies, not herself. That's important, okay? Do not use her ultimate if she's about to die, because it doesn't heal herself. I feel like people are gonna do that. They're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm gonna Fu Xuan ultimate as an emergency button, and then they realize that she doesn't actually restore HP and she's gonna die. So she only restores HP from her talent. This is her HP. Ultimate is all other allies' HP. All right, so her ultimate doesn't heal herself naturally, but my chat tells me that this does grant her 1 extra trigger talent, okay? And then that will immediately happen. So if she's on an emergency amount of HP and you use her ultimate, she'll get 1 extra talent and she will immediately restore her HP, which is kind of cool because if she's below 50% or she's 10% HP, she's about to die, it does not matter. When her talent procs, it recovers her by almost all of the HP that she doesn't have. So even if she's almost dead, she'll be healed to almost full. That's very nice. So it doesn't matter how far below she falls below 50%. She'll always be healed by a nice amount, which is an excellent thing. I'll just finish this trial, then I'll explain everything when we go through the actual numbers and stuff. Wow! Man, I love her skill. It's so cool. Tingyun, you're so cool too. You give her all this energy back. Wow, amazing. All right, die. I need all of you guys to die. You kind of ignore mechanics like this. Yeah? Like, it doesn't matter if, like, her ability deals damage to everyone. She just heals it up anyway. Not a big deal. We'll use this. Get a little bit of HP restoration to the allies. Very nice. Auto. They're almost dead. I pressed E, and I went from 6 energy or 5 energy to 72. Thoughts? Okay, so that was Fu Xuan's trial. Let's go over her actual traces here because it's very important. So this is my trace node lineup. This is personally what I think should be the minimum investment. This unlocks all of her relevant major nodes, and then it captures the HP and effect resistance branch nodes. And then for talent priority, I went with the talent and the skill. I left the ultimate and basic attack at level 1. The talent is responsible for more damage reduction and also the amount of HP that Fu Xuan restores to herself. The skill is responsible for increased HP and crit rate to your allies, which is nice. Ultimate is just more damage, as well as basic attack is also just more damage. So now let's get into actual details. All right, let's talk about her skill. Her skill has this 65% damage redistribution, okay? So we tested this out, and it does not matter who your allies are. This is how the damage is actually done, okay? So there's 3 stages. The first stage is the enemy deals their raw damage. So let's say 4,000 damage is what they would have dealt. Okay, let's do 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage. 65% of that is split. That 1,000 damage that the enemy would have dealt, 650 goes to Fu Xuan, 350 goes to your ally. After that occurs, stage 2 is where defense comes into play. So then your ally's defense takes into account and reduces the 350 damage to whatever. And then Fu Xuan's defense reduces the 650 damage down to whatever. So if you have Japard, your Japard will take way less damage, but your Fu Xuan still takes the same amount of damage, even if your ally was Japard or Tingyun or whoever else, doesn't matter, okay? And then shields. After that, her skill field, the purple circle on the floor, will blink also when it's the last turn for it before it wears off. Thanks, man. So this is 20 extra energy. Ultimate here with A4 trace. It heals all other allies. We explained that. And then the talent damage reduction scales up 14 to 15% when she's just alive on battle. This stacks with everything else, right? Damage reduction stacks multiplicatively. Hey, okay, you know what? We're not gonna get into this talk because it's actually kind of dank. Well, basically just believe that it's multiplicative. And if you have multiple sources of it, I'm pretty sure the highest applies first and then it scales down from there because that gives you the highest amount in total from all of your sources. So that's that. Talent and skill are the ones that you upgrade first. And then ultimate, if you want to do sub DPS, basic attack last. Okay, so the A6 trace we have not talked about yet, but basically every single time Fu Xuan uses her skill, you have this one protect your whole team CC blanket. Okay, if any one ally gets CC'd, the entire team's blanket is gone. So you get the most value out of it if an enemy has a slow charging team-wide CC. Because then Fu Xuan can constantly reapply this AoE thing and like it'll protect your whole team. It protects one instance of CC, whether or not that was single target or team-wide. Anyway, that's great. She also has crit rate nodes. Now, I've been asked this question. Why does she have crit rate nodes? In fact, you are required to add this crit rate boost node before you can even access her bonus abilities. Now, why is that the case? I don't know, but I'm guessing that if you're a big fat whale or you wanted to run sub DPS Fu Xuan, you could totally. And that does work because her ultimate is AoE quantum damage. So, I mean, do what you will with that, okay? All right, so that's traces. Okay, light cones for preservation. Signature is straight up broken. Increases Word's max HP and also energy regeneration rate. The energy regeneration rate is insanely strong. And then also, when the area's HP is reduced, all allies gain increased damage. I don't know what's going on in the actual Lycone, but she's having her eyes closed. Something's happening. And at the start of every wave, restores HP to all allies by an amount equal to 80% of their respective lost HP. So multiple waves of enemies, you get basically topped up. It's quite nice. Other Lycones, if you don't have that, basically anything that gives damage reduction is nice. You can even use Jeopard's. Jeopard gives you nice effective HP, but you kind of ignore the effect hit rate. 24% defense and also a nice taunt. And when they're attacked, they get even more defense. So it's really good for just bulky tankiness. This improves her defense when she's attacked to about like 15 to 17 to 2000, which makes her HP pool a lot stronger. That is possible. So this is from Hertas. You guys can S5 this for free. So I'm gonna look at this S5. So if we're looking at S5, you get effect resistance 16%. If the wearer is attacked and has no shield, which is perfect for her, they gain a shield equal to 32% of their max HP, which is insane because her max HP is huge. So she gets a shield anywhere between like 2.5k to 3k, which is like Jeopard shield, right? This effect can only be triggered once every 3 turns, but this is great because if you have more damage mitigation, it's insane. If the wearer has a shield when attacked, the damage they receive decreases by 24%. That's actually crazy. If you're F2P, you should just get this. This is probably the best, because I already know all the other 4-star Lycones, but this is insane. It gives you effect resistance, which is huge because it prevents her from getting CC'd. She gains a free shield, and that shield also gains the value of its own damage reduction. So it's crazy good. This one's actually insane. Okay, if you don't have any of those, I guess we can look at the 4 stars. You get defense 16%. I mean, at the end of the day, all the 4 stars aren't really bad. Increased target and damage reduction by 16%. Landau's Choice, I think, is probably going to be the most used because the damage reduction is multiplicative on top of everything else. But if you do this, you might be stacking it too much. But I do think that a lot of people don't use this, so it should be fine. This is just strictly worse than day 1 of my new life. So yeah, you don't need the burn here. We are Wildfire. 5 turns of damage reduction and then HP restoration for allies. It's fine. It works. It does its job. And then this is me. Increase the damage of the wearer when they use their ult by 60% of the wearer's defense. Don't use this. This is just worse than the other ones. 3 stars. There is one 3-star. This one. I like this one. When the wearer unleashes their ultimate, they restore HP by 80% of their max HP. With Fu Xuan and you're running ER rope, if you're going to use this one, you will restore HP a lot. I see in chat, I said I wasn't going to get distracted, but these are pretty important points that I think would be worth discussing. Someone said Landau's Choice is greater than Texture of Memories because Fu Xuan doesn't need her LC to make her tankier. She needs to make her allies either take less damage or get hit less. In certain content, I can see Landau's Choice being better. Swarm Disaster might be a big one because Texture of Memories protects herself, but in Swarm Disaster, there's no difference because his attacks are AoE anyway. There still are single target stuff though. So it's possible. I can see it, but I think Texture of Memories, if you do have it free S5, I mean, it's really nice for herself. Landau's Choice is probably a really safe choice though, if you want her to be the soul tank. And the wearer is more likely to be attacked, so which means that sometimes your allies do get attacked, but it's way less likely, which means that she can actually heal them up to full while also being really tanky, so it's nice. She also gets energy when she's attacked more often, which makes her ultimate come up a lot faster alongside of her E. Okay, so that's all our Lycones. I think there's a pretty good selection of Lycones. You shouldn't really feel too bad if you don't have her signature. And then we get into Relics. I think Relics is probably one of the most flexible for her. While 4-piece is great, I think there are 4 different 2-pieces that can all work. We have speed increase by 6%. We have HP from Disciple set. We have damage reduction from Wuthering Snow. And then we have defense % from the Knights of Purity, right? In fact, I think that if you run so much HP, 2-piece Knight for defense % might be more effective HP than the damage reduction here. And this also scales if you have a Lycone like Landau's Cone that gives you even more damage reduction. So the more damage reduction you have, the less you need from Guard of Wuthering Snow, which means you can go more defensive stats. But overall, I think any 2-piece set works as long as they give her a beneficial stat. I've chose to go for speed 6% and damage reduction 8% because my relics happen to work out. 2-piece healing also works, so pretty much everything. Oh, it's true, she does heal. She heals herself and she heals allies, so I guess you could just top up to full if you do healing set as well. So there really is no difference. Yeah, if you guys can see my pieces here, we have speed, defense, HP, kind of just up like everything. If you want to do sub DPS Fu Xuan, do you need me to tell you to run the quantum set? What do you want me to say? You want me to congratulate you and give you a cookie from running the quantum set? because you're so cool, and like maybe you have like E6 and like your Giga Chad like 70 crit, 200 crit damage Fu Xuan. Like no one cares, okay? Just have fun, okay? Do your thing. All right, so main stat pieces. Body piece, I think HP % has the most value because it increases her tankiness. Outgoing healing I don't think is useful because she needs to have a bulk of HP. So you either go HP % or you can go crit if you want to do Fu Xuan DPS. And then substat wise, I think defense, speed, effect resistance are all really nice to have. If you are running triple HP % like me, instead of going all in, you can run defense %. As a preservation character, her base defense is quite high. It's 1.1k. So defense % does also work. This increases her effective HP by quite a lot. This is important because as we talked about, damage split happens first before defense takes into account. If Fu Xuan's defense is higher, she will be taking less overall damage. Boots. I like speed, and you really should run speed. At least get to 134. Super fast Fu Xuan or just 134 speed Fu Xuan, it's fine. But I do think that 25 speed boots does give you that necessary leg up because she has 100 base speed. So you just need 9 speed substat in order to hit 134. I have like 150 because I don't really care. I don't do MOC that much. So I have 150 speed on her because I just went for speed HP kind of relics. So yeah, speed boots. HP boots are also fine, but she will be slower. Just make note of that. And if you do HP boots here, you're probably running ERR rope here. And then you're probably going to run HP and defense on one of these pieces. Her base defense is actually 606 without LC. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so defense will range depending on your LC choice, but I'm going to assume you have about 1,000 defense as the base defense. It should still be higher though because she's a preservation character. Orb, HP % if you're supportive, quantum of your damage, pretty self-explanatory. Rope, HP or energy recharge. If you do not have her signature light cone, always run ERR. If you do have her light cone, you can do either HP or ERR. In fact, I think that ERR with her signature light cone makes her feel kind of illegal. She ults way too fast in a broken way, in like a good way. So you can totally run either one. Currently, I don't have another ERR ageless piece, so I'm running HP %. Oh, and yeah, the 2-piece planner set. Either ageless works or broken keel if you want to do effect resistance. I don't know which one you guys are running, but honestly, like they're both fine. You can either have her be super tanky or you can have her give crit damage to your allies. So the reason why I have ageless is because I haven't farmed broken keel. Broken keel, I would probably say is actually best in slot. If you have a perfect supportive build, 10% crit damage scales way better than the 8% attack. And so, yeah, you should just go broken keel. If you don't, ageless is fine, no problem. And as you guys can see, my effect resistance is 44.9%. So if I had broken keel, I would have the 10% crit damage. You should be looking for effect resistance substats. Her substats are pretty straightforward. Stat recommendations. All right, so her base HP is going to be between 2.4 to 2.5k. Higher if you have signature light cone. I currently have her at 75 out of 80 and her light cone is 70 out of 80. So there's still more room for base HP. If I enhance this to 80, I get, I think 40 more base HP. If I level her up as well, I get, it doesn't show. I get 130 total HP. It doesn't show how much base HP I get. But I'm guessing I get about 40 base HP as well. So you can go to 9k, which is what I have. But if you go up to 9k, remember that Fu Xuan herself needs to be tanky. So it's good to have a good balance between HP and defense. HP is going to be her strongest. All right, because everything that she deals with is HP based. Her buffing skills offer HP, her healing skills offer for HP, right? But you want a little bit of defense. You want a little bit of damage reduction. In my opinion, my defense is too low. I think that 1.5k defense is probably a good threshold. You can do this with a 2-piece artifact set, with defense substats, with light cone. You can do it however you want, all right? Speed, at least 134 so that she follows MOC cycle. Energy regeneration rate, honestly, I think mine's too low. Like, I kind of feel like you should always run ERR rope, but I'm not gonna go into that. ERR rope will give you 19.4%. Her signature light cone will give you anywhere between 12 to 20% from S1 to S5. So either you're at 112% or you're at 119.4% or you're at 131.4 or higher. So there's like 3 numbers that you're at. 112, 119, 131, and then depending on your superimpositions, right? At that point, you just need to calculate how much does your E give you back. So your E base energy is 50. So currently, I'd be getting 56 energy back. Because 112% energy regeneration will give me 6 extra energy. So my E gives me 56. And if you're 119, you're gonna be about 61. If you're 130, you're gonna be 66, etc. Her ultimate cost is 135, so do what you will out of that information. On average, she's going to be ulting once every 2 turns. Latest once every 3, but mostly once every 2 turns. And then effect resistance. I would say just keep your effect resistance at least 30% so you can run Broken Keel. But honestly, your effect resistance should be anywhere between like 50 to 70 if you have like a perfect build. That's basically it. High amount of HP, I would say at least 7,000. 1.5k defense, 134 speedish, energy regeneration rate as much as you can get, effect resistance 50 to 70, it's all good. If you go quantas damage, you can ignore the defense and you can just go to standard crit damage. She does have crit trace nodes because yes, I don't know, she just does. And they give her a lot. 2.7, 5.4, 9.4, 13.4, 17.4 free crit rate. Anyways, that's for sub DPS Fu Xuan, if you want to do that. Her signature Lycan doesn't give any crit, so yeah. Should we go really quickly through her Eidolons? E1 is the obvious, wow, insane. The knowledge effect, which is the buff that her Matrix of Prescience gives, which is her skill, increases crit damage by 30%. This combines with what she already gives. She already gives HP and crit rate, so this would mean that it gives HP, crit rate, and crit damage. E2 is a get out of jail free card. This acts the same way that her A6 Trace acts. 1 time per battle, if any team member can be more than 1 to 3 team members, if they are knocked down, they will be revived. So it's so, dude, the wording is so weird, but basically like 1 time per battle, if someone dies, everyone who died revives. On E2, she can revive herself. Dude, this is insane for like max difficulty swarm disaster. And then E3, E5 are the standard stuff. Skill talent first is actually better, by the way, because these are the talents that scale besides damage. Ultimate basic power damage, and then skill and talent are HP restoration and the buffing, HP crit rate. E4, 15 energy, up to. There's no limit on this, right? If there's no limit on this, if there's multiple enemies who have multiple AoE attacks, does she just continuously regenerate energy? I assume that's what it means. So I'm gonna say that's what it means, because that'd be broken. Because basically, like, if she's super slow and you proc your E and your allies keep on getting attacked, she can basically ult every turn. But if there's a limit on it, it might just be 1 time. But from the text, there's no limit on it. So it might just be all the time. E6 is damage, because we love damage. And E6 means that she actually does a ton of damage. And you just run her Quantas. And you just do damage while being super tanky. All right, that's Eidolons. Team compositions, guys. I don't want to make this section short, but I really want to make this section short. You know what I want to say? All right, guys, there's 2 ways to use Fu Xuan, okay? You either trade her like Luocha or you put her mono quantum. I really don't want to say more than that. I really don't. She's literally a Luocha. She just exists on any team comp. It doesn't matter. And then mono quantum, but mono quantum also Luocha can be, so you just use her everywhere. All right. Whoa, guide is done. Fu Xuan can actually be used everywhere though. The reason is because she has literally everything that a tank would need. She has massive damage reduction for herself. She has damage redirection for the team. She heals the team. She heals herself. She has insane energy generation. She looks super cool. She doesn't die. PogChamp. Okay, no meme. Okay, I'll explain a little bit more detail because I don't want to troll the YouTube frogs. Okay, you guys know in honkaistarrail, right? No matter what team you build, if you want survivability, 1 slot has to be for preservation or abundance character. If you've seen Luocha, you probably think in your head like, damn, like I'm gonna build a team and I'm just gonna stick Luocha in randomly because he can just heal without consuming skill points. Fu Xuan is literally the same thing. She doesn't have to use her E all the time, but if she does, she gets her ult back way faster because that's what her A2 trace does. But in general, you can throw her literally anywhere whenever you need that type of stuff. Different use cases, by the way, right? Fu Xuan has damage redirection, mitigation. Luocha is skill point friendly, has a buff removal, right? I would say that Fu Xuan is more useful when enemies have really hard hitting attacks. That's probably a difference. Luocha will not protect you if you get 1 shot. but Fu Xuan will. If there's an enemy that deals a high amount of damage in one attack, Fu Xuan will protect your team from dying, which is good. Luocha cannot heal you if you get one shot. So like, that's a pretty important thing. But that's basically it. That's the only other major difference between the two characters is Fu Xuan just protects against high damage. That's it. What did you want me to say? I like Fu Xuan because she's a pretty simple character. I will open it up to questions from chat if I missed anything. Any anti-synergy? Well, let's think. Clara comes to note the most, I would say. And I think maybe Bald is a little bit in there. Don't run Landau's Cone, because then she'll never get hit. Maybe it is the only anti-synergistic, because Clara is the only destruction character that wants to get hit all the time. But I will say that it's kind of weird because Fu Xuan also benefits her from not getting insta one-shot, right? Fu Xuan's kit actually helps Clara. The only problem is taking hits from her. So just don't use Landau's Cone, I guess. Any anti-synergy with Bald? It's also the same thing, kind of. Bald wants to lose HP though. Yeah, that is a little anti-synergistic. The damage mitigation is actually pretty bad, huh? Probably more anti-synergistic with Bald, because if you use Fu Xuan, you basically can't press E, because otherwise Blade will never take enough damage to do meaningful amounts of damage. And then if you don't press E, you basically are not using her kit. Does he sacrifice enough HP from his own attacks though? It's only 10%. I would say, chat, that Fu Xuan has less synergy with Clara and Bald for the reasons stated above. Anti-synergy with Yanqing too? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yanqing is better with just a pure shield character. So he doesn't want to lose HP at all. Okay, that makes sense. So I don't like use Yanqing that often. I didn't see the point you were trying to make, but it makes sense now that I see it. Yeah, just use Yepar with Yanqing. Good dude. Fu Xuan at the end of the day is all about, do you want to take less damage? If yes, use me. That's pretty specific though. That's like the only one. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, would a fast Fu Xuan be good or worse? Okay, that is a good question. In my opinion, me going 150 speed actually hurts Fu Xuan. You don't actually need her to be super fast. The reason why is because she gets a lot of her energy by naturally taking damage from AoE attacks, right? As a preservation character, and also her E generates a lot of energy. So as long as you have enough ERR, her speed only needs to be fast enough. After that, you can completely ignore the stat. Fast Fu Xuan will mean that your matrix of prescience lasts shorter in the span of a fight. If you are like me and you have a really fast Fu Xuan, it'll be suboptimal at times. You'll go to her and you'll have to basic attack, and then your matrix prescience, like, it's kind of complicated because Fu Xuan's skill lasts for 3 turns. 3 turns is really long. As an example, Luocha's Abyss Flower is 2 turns. Most people's buffs is 2 turns. Like, Fu Xuan having a 3 turn actually means that her speed is not that much of a mitigating factor, but it does affect how she works. Is it worth to get the cone or not? It's pretty good. If you're asking for LC, it's never worth to get the LC if it costs money. Does she need defense percent relic, or should I go for full HP percent? That's a good question. The answer to that is, in my opinion, okay, in my opinion, if you are running 3 main stat HP, one of them can be defense. That's probably the simplest answer I can give. If you're only running 2 HP percent, then just get defense from substats. If you have the choice of running a 3rd HP main stat, it could be defense main stat. Because at that point, the diminishing returns is pretty heavy. Let me give you an example, right? So the main stat in this game for HP is 43.2%, right? 43.2% for my Fu Xuan right now gives me like 1000 HP. She's already 9K. Right? 43% defense though gives me like another 400 defense, which is like 25% boost. So like the effective HP is pretty good. All right, that's it. Fu Xuan guide is complete. I hope this video was not 30 minutes long, but it might be because we covered a lot of extra details talking with chat too. So I hope you guys enjoy. I think that Fu Xuan is a very lovely character. It reminds me just like Luocha. Insane preservation character, can also heal, has insane damage reduction, also buffs. Yeah, keeps your team alive. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of Fu Xuan yourself. And as always, we'll see you guys next time on the next guide. Hope you guys don't mind the live guides. I'm trying to improve the live guides, by the way, so that they are less all over the place and more structured, because I think I do like doing them live. It allows chat to chime in on things that I do miss, and also for them to give input on things that they've experienced, which I think is really valuable. Anyways, that's it. See you guys next time. Take care. Balls. Sturge.